Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Sus! Thank you for coming out on this rainy Sunday night for Stand Up Second Sunday. This is the 6th month in a row we've been doing this, featuring local comics, Carl students. It's been a great time. I'm Aaron. In the back with me is Kristen. We'll be serving you food and drink, well, sugar in solid liquid form, all night. Last call for alcohol will be right before Virginia goes on. Excellent. Couple of other things. We're streaming live right now all over the world. Hi, Zoom and YouTube. By being here, you commit to being on our stream for perpetuity and helping us make like 50 cents on YouTube. If that bothers you, you can leave. But it's raining, so stay, please. Restrooms over here, down the hall. I think that's all the business we need to get to. You know him. You love him. The man, the myth, the legend, Carl Wolfson, everyone.
Keep it going from there, and everybody here at Comedy Sports. How are we tonight? Yeah, hi Dega, how are you? A lot of Andrea, Mark, all my students, Calvin, Michael. If you're my student, raise your hand. I've been a student here. Okay. This means I can't do any of my material because you've already heard it. That's good. A little census for me. Thank you. How many are here to see Jon Stamm? John's... Nice. Yeah, the Stammettes. Good to have you here. Do you work with Jon? Oh, evidently. That was a ringing endorsement for your legal life. Jon is a lawyer, and that's why these are his only friends, ladies and gentlemen. A very tiny group of plaintiffs. That's who they are. Or what they now call Catholic youth groups. Well, you just saw a joke I made up right there. I think that's enough for tonight. Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Good night. Well, Jon is incredible, and I haven't seen Jon in a while because I'm in my 3rd year teaching here, and Jon was in 2 of my original classes, and it's great. So give Jon a round of applause. Jon Stamm. Who is here to see Jeff O'Malley? Jeff O'Malley. Jeff's a teacher, and this is mandatory for these people. They're either going to pass or fail, depending on if they're laughing tonight, or it's a school requirement. Do anyone teach with Jeff? Anybody? Oh, look at the hands going up. Good for you. So you're a teacher, sir?
Yes.
Yes, that's the quickest answer from a teacher I ever got. It was like, go see the principal. That's when I asked a question. So what do you teach?
I teach physics.
The way you said I teach physics, I knew it wasn't English you taught, because there was like a pause there. So I figured, sentence composition was out.
I was waiting for the groans.
You were waiting for the groan?
Yeah, after I say physics, normally there's a groan.
Oh, I see. Well, see, you just didn't wait long enough, sir. Yeah, so people don't like physics? Is that the deal? Or because I blame a lot of shit on gravity, I'll tell you that. My weight, it's all gravity is what it is. I was literally at Gary and I were New Seasons today. Gary's my husband, my students know Gary. I've been eating a lot since last Tuesday, supplementing my grief. And he got these high-end chocolate bars. I said, no, don't get those. He goes, I want them. I said, well, when you get home, just hide them. I don't want them. And he said, hide them? I said, hide them where I don't go. He goes, the gym? Literally happened today, just like that joke I made up. Okay, so, and you, ma'am, are you a teacher?
Yes.
And what do you teach?
English.
See how we... One word answer, English. Not worrying about Newton, the whole apocryphal apple on the head, and how a screw goes in. Well, that's a whole, Any other teachers from the, and what do you teach? Oh, you're pointing them out like you're also the assistant principal. Yeah, so you're a teacher?
Yes.
And you see, now you've heard two responses. So you got to be quicker than the second one.
English.
English, okay, good for you. Two English teachers, all right.
Call foul here. It's called on 2 English.
I actually have a physics teacher protesting. When I hear physics, I hear drop. That's all I hear. Well, give the teachers a round of applause. If I were in charge, teachers would start at $100,000 a year. The bad news is I'm not in charge, except right here. So go collect your paychecks at the end. How many people here to see Virginia Jones? We have. I was sitting behind the plaintiffs. Okay. So, yeah, Virginia. Give Virginia a round of applause as well. Virginia. Really, really. Any married couples here before I go on? Yeah. How many years, sir? Oh, that's another of my students. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you.
Yeah, and you're a teacher too.
Yes, I am.
And what do you teach?
Music.
That was so quick, but you should have sung it.
I was prepped. So
You were prepped.
prepped.
And how many years?
22.
22 years.
They're really looking at each other like this could be a make or break moment. Good for you. Well, Gary and I are 27, which is, I don't know, 54 in straight years, I believe. I don't know, is the conversion more or less? What do you think? Any gay people besides me here? I'm the only one? Oh. That was as close to a mating call as you're going to get. That's really close. Okay. Yeah, well, 27, I've said before, our conversations aren't as sparkling as when we were dating 27 years ago. You know, we're at dinner a couple weeks ago. Gary says, is there anything worse than hard butter? I'm thinking genocide? I don't know. I have no clue, really. Let's see. We've established we have a lot of teachers, a lot of plaintiffs, and I think that makes for a good audience, right? I'm just going to do a little time in between, but the night belongs to these comics. I'm really proud to present them. And coming to the stage now, definitely one of the funniest students I've ever had. I think the tallest. Please welcome Jon Stamm, ladies and gentlemen. Jon!
Thanks, Bob. Good to be back. I'm about to turn 37, and thank you. I lasted. I'm feeling old in my soul. I know that's probably subjectively offensive to people older than me, but I'm starting to notice all the changes, and one of which is my OCD is getting intolerable. It's gotten so bad that now I am only capable of having sex on a north-south axis. I'm in a relationship several years now. She still hasn't figured it out. I'm not going to tell her. I'm just going to ride it out, see how far we can go. I've noticed as I get older, I'm becoming way more of an anxious flyer. I was on a flight recently to Dallas, and we're cruising. I'm up there chilling, watching Aquaman 2. Shitty movie. And I notice all of a sudden these sirens start going off all around me, and I immediately panic. It's coming from people's phones. And my first thought is like, well, we're fucked. This is the plane that's been hijacked. The nukes are inbound. I'm gonna die. And I'm panicking, freaking out. Open up my phone. I've never been so relieved to get an Amber Alert in my life. I guess we were flying over and we somehow got the signal. And it was a close call. That is why you put your phone on airplane mode. What am I supposed to do? We're up there. I'm just gonna go back to watching Aquaman 2. I do enjoy some parts of flying. I like being able to interact with people from all over the country, and just picking up on all the different phrases and expressions that people use. Like, so on that Dallas flight, I was sitting next to a guy from Texas, And he used one of my favorite expressions. He was talking about someone and he said, he's all hat and no cattle. And in Texas speak, that means the person you're talking about is full of shit. Like they're a poser. And I was trying to think what the Portland version of that expression would be. I think I got it. She's all bangs and no bush. In addition, maybe you've met one. In addition to becoming a more anxious flyer, as I get older, I have an ever-increasing fear of getting struck by lightning. It didn't used to bother me when I was a kid, and as Carl mentioned, it probably has something to do with the fact that I am monstrously tall. I'm like a fucking walking lightning rod. You people have no idea what it's like. It's absolutely terrifying. Being tall is not all it's cracked up to be. The one and only time I've ever sent a dick pic to a girl, it gave her vertigo. As I get older, though, I'm giving less of a fuck about things. The guys might understand this. I am getting way too cavalier with how early I start to whip my dick out as I approach a urinal. I walk up, I'm in my safe partition space, and I produce my penis at that point. But I was at work the other day, I'm like, from that bench. I'm like 3 months away from fulfilling my destiny to becoming the creepy old guy at the gym who just stands around butt-ass naked. I just don't care. As you get older, too, it hits you in weird ways. I mean, at a point, when athletes and musicians, they're all younger than you at a certain point, you're like, oh shit, I'm older than them. That's fine. One that hit me the other day I wasn't prepared for was when your doctor is older than you. I'm having my physical the other day, and this guy comes in, he's this youthful, vibrant Zoomer dude, and he's inspecting my balls, and he's like, I see you got a white pube there. Yeah, thanks. I'm just going to get ahead of this. Here's a prescription for Cialis, sir. Thanks, I need that. It sucks. As I get older, though, I'm getting dumber and more stubborn, which is a terrible combination. The other day, I misspelled the word awful the other day. I got into an actual heated argument with a coworker, and I swear I thought the word awful was spelled O-F-F-L-E. I don't know if you heard him say, I'm a lawyer. That's not a good look. No, getting older, the future just sucks, I think. I still can't get over the fact that Russell Crowe got fat. I can deal with the white pube and the younger doctor and the whipping the dick out. I have nothing to add to that. That bothers me. Him being fat is just a symbol of dystopia for me. I can't deal with it. And I know what you're thinking as I go on about being old. It's like, well, John, clearly you're lacking purpose and meaning in your life. The only obvious answer for that is to have children. To which I would say, well, Mom, I'm not cut out for it. Case in point, last night I had a sugar craving. I'm rummaging around our pantry, the fridge, I'm looking around. Every single piece of candy, all the chocolate in my household has drugs in it. I do not have a child-friendly home. If you brought your kid over, I would probably get sued. And I don't know if I want kids. My girlfriend, I'm pretty sure she doesn't want kids. She's usually a very, very indecisive person, and that could lead to problems. So like this morning, I'm sitting on the couch trying to watch the Steelers game, just relaxing. She walks up out of nowhere, cold, and she says, I'm thinking of getting my nipples pierced. I'm like, okay. Well, what do you think of that? I don't really have an opinion on that. She goes, well, do you think I should get them? Like, babe, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your body. And at that point, she's magical. Well, you're not helping. She is so indecisive, she cannot decide which fantasy smut novel she wants to read next. And she asks for my opinion. She's like, should I read the one where the fairy gets double teamed, or the one where the princess cheats on her horse with a dragon? I'm like, babe, whatever flicks your bean, I don't care. No, I am glad I'm in a relationship, though. I can't be single again. As I said, I feel too old in my soul. I can't keep up. I can't be dating a younger woman. I don't know what I'm doing. But I hear syphilis is everywhere. Just condoms went extinct since I've been in a relationship. That's good luck. I can't be single again. I was really bad at it the first time. I went on a date with this girl one time. She brought me back to her place, hang out on the couch. I proceed to get way too high with her, and she puts on Netflix. Classy move, you know this is going. And she's scrolling through to find something to put on in the background. And as she's going, I'm like, wait, stop. Fellowship of the Ring. I'm like, so good, right? And she's like, actually, I haven't seen it. I'm like, oh my God. You're gonna love it, we gotta see it. She's like, sure, as she rebuttons her jeans. What do you think it went from there? Within 5 minutes, she was asleep. What did I do? I watched the whole thing. Sat there and watched the whole thing. And to this day, several years later, my girlfriend has still never finished The Lord of the Rings. That's it. Thanks, guys.
Jon Stamm, ladies and gentlemen. I have a little bit of sad news for you. Russell Crowe got his nipples pierced. There was breaking news while you were up. It was that, and syphilis is everywhere, ladies and gentlemen. One more time for Jon Stamm, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Kevin.
Yes.
I was blanking on your name before, but then I stared at you for a while and I said, Kevin, you only took 3 classes with me.
Right.
So, Kevin.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. I use the classes to impart comedic knowledge, and it's a dementia test for me. That's what I do. People ask me how I know I was gay, and other than the details, which they seem not to want to hear, I do remember my mother telling me that I should be more attracted to masculine things, so I started dating guys. My mother said to me some years ago, don't go to therapy, they just blame the mother. And I went, One more time for John. I hadn't seen John in a while. Good stuff. I love when people get on stage and say that they're getting old at 37. That's really funny to me. Hilarious. Hilarious. All right. So awful. If we have an English teacher tell us how awful is spelled.
AWFUL.
Very good. How about Arkansas?
ARKANSA.
Incorrect. Capital A, but. I have been waiting since my fucking sophomore year to do that. Okay. And I voted for your tax increase. All right. It's okay. They don't even know how to spell anything in Arkansas, right? So it really doesn't matter if it's a capital A or a small a, right? When I was last there, I saw a 12-year-old smoking right in front of her parents. It was unbelievable. Oh no! I fucked that up. You and I are now in the same boat. I fucked up a very basic joke. The joke is I saw a 12-year-old smoking right in front of her children. I feel so bad. I feel like a physics teacher now. I feel I'm in the lowest rung of teaching. Where did he go? Did he drop out? What happened? You moved? Well, explain how that works to all of us. The whole motion thing? Is it kinetic energy? Is there a reason did you not like him?
I need to spread out more.
Sir, you're good? Do you know him?
No, but I know what it feels like.
No, but you know what it feels like? You just wanted to spread out, and you couldn't do that there, right? Because, of course, no one can spread out next to him. Look at him. No, you're a very good-looking guy. If I weren't married and you weren't straight, we could get it on. I wouldn't move from you, I'm just saying. There's a lot of people I would move from here, but not him. He is a handsome man. All right. I may need the lawyers. No, I'm just kidding. Are you guys married?
No, I'm, actually I do know Dave. I misheard what you said.
You misheard what he said.
In this
So you're the speech teacher at the school. What school is this? I want to come down for the fucking assembly. This is going to be great. Are you a teacher as well?
I was, yeah.
You were?
Yeah.
And then what happened?
And then I got out of there.
I think there's more to the story, but but you're single, right?
Heck no, I got 3 kids.
Well, let's see. Where do I go with this flow chart? I'm sure a great dad.
I appreciate that.
I'm digging my way out, is what I'm doing. Yeah. Okay. And what do you do now that you don't teach anymore?
Oh man, I go back to school sometime and teach, every once in a while instead of every day, and then I take care of my kids and do other stuff.
Okay. I'm in love. I just don't know what to tell you. We're both digging this hole deeper, sir. You're my dream audience member at this point. I'm just kidding.
There's a seat for you.
No, I'm straight. He's keeping the seat for me. Fuck, he's going along with it. This is improv. I love it. Stay improv is what it is. I don't know what happened to Dave. He had 3 kids. Give him a round of applause. You're a fine sport. So your kids don't know about us? I'm milking this way too much. All right, are you ready for a comic who's not me? And this guy has been taking my class since 1999. I say about Jeff that of all my students, I've had hundreds now, no one wants to be a comic more than Jeff. Jeff lives to be a comic. And, and I think he is extraordinary how far he's come, because a couple of years ago he didn't even speak English. He didn't capitalize state names. It was an awful thing. But now he's here, and we love him. Please welcome Jeff O'Malley, ladies and gentlemen. Jeff O'Malley.
Oh man, tough act to follow. Some killer crowd work. Can we get some killer crowd work from Carl? Can we get some Carl there? I'll be honest. I wasn't hoping to follow a comic quite so funny like Jon, and quite so tall and handsome. Holy shit, right? It's like,
All right, let's move on from that.
okay, I walked out here, and when I met him backstage, I'm like, I'm half his size. This is kind of like the Twins movie, but, and he's not Danny DeVito, all right? First of all, I need to announce that I'm a school teacher, all right? Yes, thank you. Oh, good gosh. I hear the love and feel the sympathy, okay? Right? For 28 years, too. 28 years. Yikes. Wow, you guys are fantastic. And so a lot of my teacher friends are out here tonight, and teachers will come out. They really will come out if you tell them it's a job fair. Right? I'm serious. There's a couple of people in here looking around going, when's the comedy over? And where's Home Depot? Right? I don't want another joke. I want another job. But nope, not a job fair, just comedy. But the jokes will be coming from me, and not our paychecks, right? Because teachers, let me tell you, we really should be making more money, right? I mean, that's what I think. Okay, yes, thank you. Oh my God. It's not that we're poor. It's just the pay is, okay? Because some of the teachers in here were wise enough not to marry each other, okay? Yeah, ouch, right? Because they went out and got themselves what I would call a sugar daddy or a sugar mama, all right? Oh wait, back up. We're in Portland. We should call that a sugar partner. All right. Because if you think about it, the word sugar daddy is kind of demeaning, isn't it? I mean, in a kind of a silly name for a candy, right? I mean, what did that beat out? Like gold digger? I mean, so I just think that we should rename that silly little candy, right? Because it's just a terrible name, in my opinion. And if we were to make more money, I truly think that I could achieve my dream as a teacher, becoming a good tipper. All right? I know. Yes, right? I mean, my dream is to like tip openly in front of people so they could just see, right? But at the moment, kind of live in the shadows, right? I'm the guy at the table who kind of folds the paper, pushes it in, you know, hopes it's higher than everyone else's, kind of like a silent auction, all right? But I don't want to say I'm a bad tipper. I'm more like a precise tipper. Yeah, okay? You know, I try to really give 20%. It's very hard to do on what I make, but no smile, 19%. All right? I take a point off like an Olympic judge, okay? And don't get me started on those 4 tipping options that they have on the little tablet right there, right? I mean, 30, 25, and 20%, you know? Do you know how much it pains me to take extra time to hit that button called custom? All right? Uh-oh. There's some precise tippers in here. I hear you, okay? I mean, to take a few extra steps to hit that button, right, to give exactly what you want is really painstaking. I bet all of us in here would just appreciate a fifth button that just said, "You did a good job." My friends and family enjoy my humor. They like my comedy, very supportive. They like that I make it's observational comedy, personal comedy, $5 comedy. Oh, but tonight's show was $20. Yikes. And the jokes don't get 4 times better. Okay? You want to know why? Because quadrupling is hard, all right? If you're trying to quadruple anything, very difficult. We're talking 4x here, right? Let me illustrate. Let's say on a scale of 1 to 10, my appearance is a 3, all right? Quadruple that. Now I'm off the charts. My wife, Connie. Connie, it's good up for Connie. She's very supportive of my comedy, especially when it's free. Okay? I mean, she's been married to me for 20 years. We just celebrated 20 years of marriage. Okay? Yeah. Which means she can do 20 years with me, but not $20 for me, okay? It's the only way I got her in here tonight, when she was my comp ticket, all right? Other than that, Connie doesn't like price hikes, okay? And when she does pay for her comedy, she wants it from Netflix, okay? And when I started doing comedy and telling jokes around the house, I thought to myself, $16.99 a month for this? It's a pretty good deal. I mean, those comics are hilarious. And they can probably tip whatever they want, you know? It's kind of a rite of passage for comics to talk about their appearance and their looks, you know? What I'm hoping you guys see is that right around here, maybe some Robert Downey Jr., okay, yeah? I get that from time to time. Oh, some Iron Man in that goatee, huh? But take a closer look. From here to right there, it's a lot of Elon Musk. Yeah. I know you see it. Oddly, the world's richest man and I can both afford the same haircut. I'm pretty sure with all that great wealth, he's going to great clips. And it's a weird combo that we're both sporting, all right? I mean, we both have, don't get me wrong, I'm thankful at my age to have hair, but we both have like this very big forehead, you know, that we're matching with like this oddly tight fade on the side. There's only one thing I can liken it to. It's kind of like having a bathroom near a kitchen, okay? Terrible layout, but no one ever tells the owner. I actually looked up why people do this, you know, why they're kind of fascinated by spotting how other people resemble celebrities. And I looked it up and did some research. Well, I just asked ChatGPT, okay? And it told me that people want to establish a connection, or it's a compliment, right? I think in my case we can eliminate compliment, all right? Unless you find Elon Musk attractive, all right? And I don't care what your politics are. I just don't think he is. Empirically, he's not, all right? And for those of you who disagree, I'm going to take you through a little thought exercise. Okay, imagine Elon Musk with no clothes, all right? And no money, okay? Yeah. Suddenly, all those billions kind of deodorized the bathroom by the kitchen, didn't it? Let's see here. Excuse me. Get thirsty doing this shit. Not too long ago, one of my buddies, he was here for it, and it happens all the time. A guy spotted me, and he was giving this long stare. In a way, like I was almost actually Elon Musk, right? He was staring at me long and hard, and I just knew he was going to do it. By the way, we're both in the dollar store, okay? Weird scenario, because that store is not for future trillionaires. It's for current teachers, all right? And he comes up to me and he says, right, those great words, "Do you know who you look like?" Right? And I go, "Iron Man." And he goes, "No." Okay? Iron Man didn't deserve that response, okay? I thought I established that gets partial credit. And he goes, "Elon Musk." And at that point, I realized all of these interactions end the same way. It's akin to a failed high five, right? This guy has something to share, and he wants to give it to me, right? Elon Musk, yeah, right? And I'm forced to receive it, right? Okay, and then he's coming forward like this, you know? And at that point, I always had the same thought: I hope I never see you again. People say, "Hey, you don't look like an O'Malley," right? I mean, I guess I don't have green hair and I'm not hopping around like a leprechaun. But it's because my Irish Catholic dad married a Japanese lady. So I come from a biracial household, mixed cultures. And let me tell you what, that was absolutely not fabulous most of the time, okay? No, some people think it's very cool. There's flaws, right? For instance, like, I never really felt that my mom and dad understood each other, you know? No, they literally didn't understand each other because my mom didn't speak English, right? So guess who had to referee and translate all those fights? I did. Very difficult. I mean, like, when my mom was upset one time, she used to threaten our family and said that she was going to run away and swim back to Japan. Yeah, and my dad just thought she wanted more exercise. And sadly, when she used to get really upset, she used to threaten that she was going to kill herself, you know, in front of all of us. And earlier this year, when she just turned 90, I learned that she's not going to kill herself. Okay? Yeah. The window for that threat is kind of closed, actually, right? Honestly, the real danger now is that she's not going to die. I mean, she's turning 91, perfect health. But, you know, they were married for nearly 50 years, and they worked it out because between them, there was a language that translated very well, and that was body language, okay? Yeah. I mean, like, so when my mom used to go, my dad didn't like it when I'd say, Dad, she's upset, okay? But like I said, 50 years of that, nearly divorced 50 times, okay? But they worked it out. Or as I like to call it, dying before you divorce, okay? Some of the older couples are looking around like this, like, might be true, right? My dad passed away at 80, right before the papers came, okay? When I was a kid growing up, it wasn't easy either, you know? Being half Asian in the 70s, I grew up around a lot of white kids, and that wasn't really easy. Because this was a difficult decade, all right? White kids were just eating white food, right? And they had cool foods, like hamburger and spaghetti, and I was the kid that was eating rice for every meal, all right? I mean, because when you have an Asian mom, guess what? You're having a white rice side every night of your life, all right? And there was always some difficulty. It wasn't like how it is today, you know, because kids are slicker now. They know foods from other cultures are delicious, you know? And in a sad moment, my best friend at the time, his name was Steve, came over to my house, and my mom made a delicious meal. It was like a Japanese pancake made of egg, and it had some green seaweed on top, and a little side of pork. And to him, that was literally green eggs and ham. Okay? Oh, and Sam I Am wasn't the only one that liked it. Steve didn't either, you know? And I understand, you know, I was hitting the white kids with a lot, you know? I mean, these odd dishes. My mom looks different, doesn't speak English. And I was the only house that they came to where they had to take off their shoes, you know? Right? I mean, I lived at the house where the kids thought, hey, to go inside Jeff's house, why do we have to remove a piece of clothing? Okay? It just wasn't easy. And then, I had Asian friends too. I had a couple of Chinese friends that were real nice, and I didn't feel like I fit in with them either, you know? And I'll be honest, I thought they were discriminating towards me, right? It was clear that they didn't like me because I was a slacker, all right? Yeah, they were very studious, right? And I want to debunk the stereotype that all Asians are studious, because I'm not. I mean, the whole time they spent their free time raising their GPAs, and all they wanted to do was get their grade point average up. And all I was doing was being average. And I really felt like at the time, I never really wanted more to be like a victim of racism, you know? And then I looked over and I thought, wait a minute, I think they don't like me because this is some like low-grade racism. But in actuality, they didn't like me because I had low grades. My childhood, the best way to liken it is to thinking of myself as like a bad meal at a teriyaki restaurant, okay? Where the Asians were like, no, this isn't Asian. And the whites were like, not half bad. But, do you know who's a fan of mixed race couples? TV commercials. Yeah? I watch a lot of sports, right? And there's a lot of mixed race couples on TV, and it's a simple ploy, right? Just to increase market shares, right? To more diverse groups, you know? The other day, At halftime, I was watching the game, and a TV commercial came on, and literally it had a white dad driving, a black mom navigating, and 2 Latino kids in the back. Eating ice cream, all right? And I thought to myself, damn, diversity is great and everything, but all-in-one Toyota? I mean, the creepy part is, in the back of these cars, in the back of these SUVs, there's always a purebred dog. That's probably thinking to itself, oh my God, this is weird, because my parents looked exactly alike. All right, I'm gonna do some ad-libbing here. I'm going off script because I had to toss a script last week because something on Tuesday night didn't go as planned. All right? I'll be honest, worse than who's president was I had to throw away this bit, okay? Spent a couple weeks working on it. Okay. As some of you guys in here know, I like to do impersonations. All right. So I wrote it. All right. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna try some 4 new ones and do some that I know real well. And like I said, it was gonna be about the election, but I can't stand to talk about it. So I'm just gonna ad lib and do these voices and go from one to another, and let's hope you like them. Okay. And if you don't know who any of these people are, this bit's gonna really suck. Okay. All right. This is gonna be 9 people talking about how they sound. Okay. Marge Simpson, Mike Tyson, Bill Clinton, Barack Obama, Donald Trump, AOC, Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, Bruce Lee, DJ Khaled, and Charles Barkley. Okay, here we go. This is off script. All right, please listen. Okay, my voice is kind of gravelly, and it goes up and down. And when I really get happy, it kind of rises like this. Doesn't it, Mike? Listen, I don't really care about what people sound like, all right? I'm just the heavyweight camp. All I do is knock people out. Some people say I got like a little kid voice, but I'm like, when I get really mad, it goes kind of high up like this. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, in that right bill. Now, my voice is kind of like this. It's kind of southern. But back here in the throat, I mean, I really like throats. But, and it's kind of rumbly like this, and it just kind of goes up. So, isn't that right, Barack? This is going to be a minute, because I like taking long pauses. So I can kind of accentuate what I'm going to really do, because it makes me sound even smarter than I am. Isn't that right, Donald? I really don't say anything. I just kind of move things around. I just kind of move things around like this, and then suddenly just tell you what's going on. Like, my hand is here. I'm moving it. It's amazing. And then I say it's like so amazing, right? That I can't stop being amazing. And this is kind of all I really say. And I heard there's like a little Asian guy making fun of me in the Portland area, right? I'm gonna find out who that guy is. Okay, AOC. All right, here we go. Now, AOC's eyes are really big like this, and she kind of talks fast, and she says like these kind of like really deep thoughts, but has kind of like a 6th grade voice. Like, you better be ready, all right? Ready for what's coming, okay? Because the people have spoken. And so I sound like the smartest 6-year-old in the world, all right? Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Bruce? Does anyone know what a Chinese guy, a kung fu artist from the 70s sounds like, all right? This could be dead silent, who knows, all right? But Bruce sounds really cool. He kind of moves his mouth to the front and kind of says like very philosophical things. Or you better be ready, baby. And then he puts like baby on the end, like, oh, when I move, you got to move like water and flow. All right, you got me, man. Isn't that right? And then he turns to DJ Khaled, right? I don't even know what he does. I just stumbled onto him on the internet, and I was like, and then my son goes, oh, that guy's famous, right? And then DJ Khaled kind of has like a, not quite gravelly, but a little raspy right underneath, and he just kind of blurts things out, almost like it's like a bumper sticker, like another one, give me another one. Yeah, bring out the Gatorade, cause I'm thirsty. All right, cause I need to drink and I don't want none of this water. All right, yeah, another one. I'm gonna do another impersonation. I'm gonna pass it to my boy Charles. Here comes Charles Barkley. Now Charles got kind of a southern voice, and then a lot of his sound comes from his lip like this, and he'll just say things like, you know, who's this guy? Who's this guy out here in Portland making jokes about me? All right, this is just way too much this is just way too much for me. All right, that's my time. Thank you, everybody.
Jeff O'Malley, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up for Jeff O'Malley. Man. I just checked, syphilis is still everywhere. Obviously, sending a lot of people to the bathroom. Watch the doorknob. One more time for Jeff O'Malley. After a segment of his act, I did have to confess to my students, and I will confess it here, that Gary and I in April did buy a car that...
Boo.
Let me just say this. It's a very odd time in Portland when you can be open about your gay relationship, but in the closet about your Tesla. Our neighbor Andy, who's 75, funniest guy, he calls Gary and me the sons of Elon. I love it. Everybody's a comic, really. We love our dry cleaner, Mrs. Lee. She's from South Korea and doesn't speak a lot of English, but when she does, it's funny. Several years ago, I took a pair of jeans, and you have to point out the spots. There was a red stain right here, and she goes, "Is it the lipstick?" I enjoyed Jeff talking about his 91-year-old mother. I spent 5 years after radio doing some caregiving, volunteering for 5 years, and I had a woman in her late 80s, Patty, and I caregave for 5 years. And older people will say anything, which is fun. It's a great place to get material. The first week, she was over at Providence House, 60th at Burnside, and the second week I was there, she said, "I told all my neighbors, my women neighbors, I have a male caregiver." I said, "That's nice, Patty." I said, "What'd they say?" She said, "They wanted to know if you were handsome." I said, "Well, that's nice. What'd you say?" She goes, unbelievable. How many people are from divorced parent families? All my students. That's amazing. Danga and Andrea and Mike and Calvin. It's unbelievable. I was listening to Jeff, because my parents literally, they were married 41 years and got a divorce. 41. They just woke up one morning. Check, please. That's it. But my mom, and she was 63 at the time, the next year she met the love of her life. 18 of the best years of her life. Isn't that great? But she met, yeah. And they were in Florida. My new stepfather, Walt, was a Southern gentleman, and he just adored my mother because I was on TV a lot in the 80s and 90s. He thought it was his responsibility when I called down there to tell me a joke and then hand the phone to my mother. And they were just the worst jokes you could imagine, but this is what, it was incredible. He had a whole shtick. I'd call up, hey sport, hear about that duck went into the drugstore and ordered a condom, and the druggist said, you want me to put this on your bill? Here's your mother. Call the next week, word for word. Hey, sport, hear about that nun taking a bath. She hears a knock at the door, gets out of the tub naked. Goes to the door, says, who is it? She hears a voice, it's the blind man. Says, oh, opened up the door, the guy comes in, says, nice tits, where you want these blinds? Here's your mother. Best one he ever told me. Hey, sport, name the 3 most famous people shot in the back of the head. Abraham Lincoln, John F. Kennedy, the guy sitting in front of Pee Wee Herman in the theater. Here's your mother. I did that on Showtime. He was signing autographs in Satellite Beach, Florida. It was. All right. One more time for Jeff O'Malley. Jeff did a great job. All right. Are you ready for our headliner tonight, ladies and gentlemen? Just a fabulous comedian. You've seen her on Portlandia, spent time in Los Angeles doing her thing. We're glad to have her back in Portland. Please welcome Virginia Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah!
Give it up for Carl and the guys.
I'd like to take the energy down. Even further than that. You're asking yourself, is she gonna hump a stool and yell, goddamn? Like, probably not. My name's Virginia. I have long hair. I wear flip-flops like most days. And a lot of times I'm hanging out with guys from work. And there's only 3 of the ways that I am like Jesus. I put that joke online and my own sister said, screw you, what are 2 more? And I said, well, I love a dinner party. And I'm friends with sex workers. Screw you. I dress by the Coco Chanel method. Does anybody know what that is? You put on everything you want to wear, and then before you leave the house, you take one thing off. I do not dress by the real Coco Chanel method, which is before you leave the house every day, you fucking Nazi. Some of you guys knew that was the real one. I've got free advice for everyone, which is don't date comics. And here I mean the men. The women are great. But like being charming and good in the sack has never been what has led young men into stand-up comedy. I think women sometimes wind up here because we have something to say, you know, and Dad didn't listen. But men almost exclusively, they wind up in stand-up because this is the last way they have to get women to pay attention to them. This is their last option. It's after DJ. It's lower than DJ. Sometimes friends of mine will say stupid shit like, I'm so glad to be doing stand-up comedy. stand-up comedy is my therapy. No, it isn't. Stand-up comedy is not therapy. Stand-up comedy is the drug that makes you forget you need therapy. Screaming about your childhood in a microphone is not therapy. And then people are wild, they're like, oh, what if I do therapy and like, I'm not funny anymore? Like, what if therapy makes me not funny? I've done comedy and therapy. And I can tell you, you're gonna be just as funny when you get out as when you went in, right? The only difference is, after therapy, you may lose the desire, the need, the consuming passion for making roomfuls of strangers laugh for your self-esteem. And then you'll stay home more. I do comedy lots of places. I did comedy in England. It's always educational. I was doing a show in England, and there was a guy on the show talking about Dulkin. His name was Sam, and he was talking about Dulkin. And in the joke, he goes, my grandma said, where are you going, Sam? And I said, I'm going up Dulkin, Grandma. And the whole audience laughed. But I didn't laugh, because I didn't know what dogging was. And then after his set, I went to him, I'm like, Sam, what's dogging? And he got like all shy, like turned red and stuff. He's like, oh, I don't know what you call it in the States. Well, tell me what it is, and then I'll tell you what we call it. And he says, you know, it's that thing where you go to a car park or a garage, but it's like a known car park, and you have sex in the car park, and other people watch you and masturbate. Yeah, we don't call that anything, Sam. I don't think we do that. You guys are gross. But it is, ladies and gentlemen, consensual, so still better than Louis C.K. I don't like it when male comics wear wedding rings on stage, because it's like, why would I listen now? If you're so funny, go home and make your wife laugh, you little slut. They know what they're doing. I used to be married. It's not for me. I gave it a bad Yelp review. Thumbs down. But I learned stuff. I learned that marriage is like the puzzle game of Jenga. It can stand for a long time, even though it has no foundation left and it's full of holes, right? And both things can be destroyed by one drunk whore at a party. TikTok didn't like that joke, and let me tell you for why. TikTok was like, you shouldn't say whore. It's a sex worker. This is perfectly fine work. That's absolutely true. I could do better, but I've been doing comedy for a minute, and I know the joke doesn't work the same when I say my friend Erica. I don't know what it is. It doesn't have the same pop. It doesn't have the same zazz. But my ex-husband, he was one of the Burning Man people, you know? He wouldn't take an aspirin for a headache because Western medicine is poison. But he would take any drug given to him by a man wearing a fur vest. Because that is what a doctor looks like. Ladies and gentlemen. And he wouldn't use underarm deodorant because he was worried that the aluminum salts would give him dementia. I just think he wanted to remember everyone who thought he smelled bad. And he remembered me, so. I think marriage is a trick. I think if you are a cis girl, they start brainwashing you into it as soon as you're dry. Just as soon as As soon as you hit air, they're like, hey, when are you going to get married? Here's a doll, you can pretend she's getting married. Here's a dress, you can pretend you're getting married. And you get obsessed with it. Like, until I was 30 years old, I treated every man I met like a potential life partner. And didn't matter who. Mall Santa, friend of my dad's. Every man. And now I know that most of those men aren't even worth being friends with. Oh. But yeah, we get brainwashed a little bit. Single women are obsessed with relationships. We go to bed going, I didn't find my guy, maybe tomorrow. I'll wear high heels to the grocery store, you know? And the next day we're like, where is he? Where is he? You're at a party, you're constantly scanning the horizon. Is he here? Is he here? And then men at the same time, on the same planet, are walking around going, I wonder who would win in a fight. A robot gorilla? Or a robot dinosaur? They made that movie, right? And I think women do get married for love and partnership, but I also think we get married a little bit because we think it's going to make our lives easier. Like, join up with someone, you know, have the workload. But I've been married. And I can tell you that after you get married, you're going to work just as hard as you are right now. But now you're going to be doing it with the dead weight of another human being on your back. Their little arms around your neck, just choking you out every day of your life. You know, it is why women wear veils going down the aisle, so you don't see what's coming. You gotta stop, ladies, wasting time trying to impress men. It is a waste of time. Men aren't picky. It is not a compliment when a man wants to have sex on you. They will have sex on a reasonably polite refrigerator door seal. I don't know if you got the point, so I'm going to say it again. There's nothing crummier in the world than being attracted to men. Like, it's bad. I wouldn't have chose it. Like, it happened to me. Being attracted to men is like being a starving person, but all you can eat are mushrooms you forage yourself. You're just out in the woods with your little basket. And the thing is, with these mushrooms, some of them are going to be toxic, but you can't tell by looking. But everybody acts like you can. So you're just going to be throwing up a lot of the time. And if you say something to someone about it, they'll go, why didn't you pick better? I don't know, man. I thought this one was different. It had a hoodie. It said it was into Os Mutantes. I've only been back in Portland for a couple months, but I'm a little worried because I think I've already reached peak Portland. I was in a sex shop recently because I am an adult and no one can tell me what to do. And we're adults here and I can say something, you know, you guys don't have to get, it's not a shame. I saw a sex harness, it's a dildo harness, okay? And this dildo harness was made out of recycled bike tubes. And it wasn't being funny. It was like sincere. It was like dead sincere, made out of recycled bike tubes. It had a little piece of chain on the top. It's just like, where do I go from here? Like, what happens next? Portland really puts the anal in artisanal. You guys are nice people, and you're not gonna like this next bit, but it's important to me. So this next bit is where I tell you, I'm sorry I'm fat. Sorry Hollywood. Sorry strange men on the internet for some reason. Super mad at me for me being fat. Why am I looking at something I don't want to have sex on? I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to have sex with you either. Like samesies. Let's shake on it. Twinkies. But the women in the audience know the person who's most upset by me being fat is my mother. Which is weird, because she is a fat. And my father was also a fat. And I guess maybe they thought they would cancel each other out. They would make these long-legged deer children, like they're just always chasing a tennis ball in a country club. No. My father proposed to my mother in a Dairy Queen. So I am 1/3 Blizzard. And of course that means every once in a while a teenager turns me upside down to prove that I'm thick, which is completely unnecessary. Everybody knows I'm thick. But that joke is undergoing like a cultural shift. Like, when I used to tell that joke in LA, I could feel the audience relax. They were like, good, she knows. We don't have to tell her. Portland people are so nice. Sometimes women, like the other night, I told that joke, and a woman yelled out, "You're not fat, you're beautiful." I never said I wasn't beautiful. But it's like, it's just a word, it's just a thing. Like the fact that she's sensitive to the word means that it has all this like extra like weight and meaning that it doesn't need, but it's absurd to yell that. Like, because it's like if I came up here and I said, well, I'm almost 5'11", I'm very tall. You're not tall, you're short. I can barely see you. Yeah, so my mom's wild. My mom has thought about her weight every second of every day of her entire life, right? Like, she is very good at adding up crazy big numbers because she's been counting calories since she was 5 years old, right? Like, she's the Stephen Hawking of Weight Watchers. And then she gave it to us, and it's like she was saddled with this burden her whole life. And then when she had girls, she was like, thank God I can give them this heirloom, which is body dysmorphia. Like, pull it out of a box, unwrap it, and say, it's disordered eating. So my mom is 78 years old. She's size 16, she's a beautiful lady. My mother wants to be on Ozempic. Mother, for fucking what? For fucking what? Who are we going to impress? The Grim Reaper? Like, he's gonna come in and say, oh my God, girl, slay, I'm dead, you're dead. I don't know. It's ridiculous. I'm at a weird age, I'm at an age where people, like strangers that do not know me, will be very pushy with me about when I'm having kids. Like, I'll just be at a party minding my own business, and a woman will come and go, so, when are you gonna have kids? And I have to go, oh, I can't have kids. And she goes, oh my God, bless your heart. Because I don't want them. And I don't think you can make me. State of Texas could make me. but you cannot. But then I go, oh, it's because I can't conceive. Oh my God, bless your heart of having children, because it just seems like a lot. Like, when do I do my hobbies? But really, it's because I'm sterile. Oh my God, bless your heart, because I paid a doctor to sterilize me. And they usually leave me the fuck alone after that. But it is weird. It's a weird time because my girlfriends will sometimes come to me and they'll go, oh my God, I'm pregnant. I go, oh my God, what are you gonna do? Have a baby with my husband like we wanted. Oh, right. Right. I just forget that's on the table. And I always say the same thing. I'm like, congrats, Mazel, so happy for you. Goodbye forever, see you never. I'm taking you off my phone. But they get upset. This one gal was like, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be like that. I'm still going to be around. I'm still going to be out. I'm going to go out. I'm going to be dancing on tables, doing shots of tequila. I'm going to be a cool mom. There's no such thing as that. There's no such thing as that, because to be a cool mom, to be a mom, means you have this other person and you're pouring all of your love and intention and kind of life force into that other person. And that's probably how it should be. But there's nothing cool about that. To be really cool, you have to be able to say at any time, I could fuck with heroin. Just take 6 months off of general life and really learn how to blow that horn, Good news is you can be a cool dad, because fatherhood is something that happens to men on weekends. Sometimes if they fucked up, alternate weekend. Portland, did you ever meet a hippie couple? What am I saying? Of course you have. Did you ever meet a hippie couple that says they ate the placenta, and you're like, why stop there? You got a good thing going. So yeah, I'm not a kid-having person. Did you know if you don't have kids, you don't have to recycle? It's not really my job to leave the world any better than I found it. It was kind of shit when I got here, and it'll be kind of shit when I go. But I like kids. I know kids. There's some in my family. There's one that I love a lot, and then there's also another one, and he also is. The one I like better is biracial, and that just makes me feel cool. The other one is just all made of white people, and it's did we need him? Was he a have to have or a nice to have? That's what we think is going to get us out of this, is another white man, really? Aren't we overpopulated? Should we be hunting them? I'll start printing licenses today. Fuck it. You get extra points if it is the next president of the United States. Anyway. This does not constitute a plan, CIA. Okay. But, yeah, the one I like, he just turned 10, and he had his wellness check at the doctor, and got weighed and measured and everything. And part of the wellness check was the doctor asked him, hey buddy, who's allowed to touch your privates? And he said, anyone I know. The doctor was like, when he goes to college, it can be anyone he knows. It needs to be a real curated list. So his mom, my sister, she gets together with the rest of the family and they work on this, right? And she calls me and she goes, okay, here's the list. Grandma, Grandpa. Grandma, because Grandpa's dead. You don't want dead people touching it. It's a whole other thing. And then Mom and Dad. And then that's it. And I said, good list. Good parenting. And she said to me, are you okay not being on the list? I'm sorry, am I okay not being on the 10-year-old relative dick touch list? I am fine, and I don't want to be on it, and I don't think you can make me. And she and I are very close. I figure if I'm with him alone and we have some sort of a 10-year-old dick touch emergency, which, what would that be exactly? I figure I can call her. I'm going to do one more joke for you guys, and you guys have been wonderful. I do have stickers to distribute for free for the cost of friendship. If you would like a sticker, see me after the show. But so this dude, so my sister's a therapist, and we have a podcast called that, and it does what it says on the tin. What's hilarious about that is that she thought she was going to ace motherhood. She thought it was straight A's all across the board because she's had all this training, but she's already fucking up. She and dude are watching television, and it's like the new Wonder Years. It's like it should be okay for kids to watch. But someone on the television says something about a wet dream, and dude's head snaps up, and he's like, Mom, what's a wet dream? And she panics. Because she thought she was going to get to have this talk like when she wanted to, like when it was her idea, not just because dude heard something. She panics, and she says, Buddy, it's when you wet the bed. Wet dreams when you wet the bed. And he says, okay. All right. Very next day, they're at Target. Because moms are always at Target. If you need to find a mom, check Target. They're at Target, and they're actually buying sheets because dude has decided he is too mature for race car sheets. So they're checking out new sheets, and he was looking at them, and he says, in a loud, clear voice, Gee, Mom, I hope I don't have a wet dream on these. And fuck her, it's her fault. She did it. Thanks, I'm Virginia Jones. That's great.
Virginia Jones, ladies and gentlemen, keep it going. Virginia! So great. Virginia babysits, if anyone... Keep it going for Virginia Jones. I did learn a couple things from watching Virginia's set tonight. One, I'm doing comedy to get women to look at me, evidently. And I'm wasting my time trying to impress men. Double bad. Because they're not worth it, are they? God, I'm glad Gary didn't come tonight. All right. I would like to let you all know that, and you've been a great crowd. Give yourselves a round of applause. It's a great crowd tonight. We are taking a break from second Sunday in December because, things don't happen in December except the birth of our Lord and Savior. And we'll be back with second Sunday in January. If anyone's thinking about taking comedy courses, stand-up or improv, portlandcomedy.com is the website, portlandcomedy.com. And classes are up for, I believe, beginning in mid-January. So anyone wanting to do what my friendly co-performers did tonight, it's a great place to start. I also want to thank my friend Paul Block for showing up. Paul is probably comes to all the shows and actually talked to a few of my classes. Paul is one of my oldest friends from Hollywood. Paul and his wife Sheila live in Portland, but Paul's career was as a producer in LA, and booked The Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson for all of the glory years with Johnny and Ed McMahon. As I've said, he's come to my classes. And how did you like the show tonight, Paul?
It was wonderful.
All right, thank you, Paul. The best second Sunday? See? We would all be on the Tonight Show, but Johnny's dead. So again, I'm not good at impressing men. What?
I did not say that.
So even he's dead and we're still not booked, which is amazing. I like all the performers that come on stage tonight for one last bow. Please welcome Jon Stamm, Jeff O'Malley, and Virginia Jones, ladies and gentlemen. Come on up. Take a bow. Thank you for coming out on the Sunday. PortlandComedy.com.